Two dudes with attitudes, let's go.
Ooh, what happened? I was rapping.
Hang on, we didn't. I hit the go live button. Oh, there we are.
Two dudes with attitudes, let's go. It's the two dudes and the attitudes ruthless, aggressively speaking, so let's do this. We're Ryan and Denton, they here to get your attention. The 5-star broadcast, shit. Start to the ending. Whether it's the E or it's all Lee. The two dudes with the attitudes that bring the heat. Get the point, yeah, it's on, time to lock in. Listen to the podcast where they get it poppin'.
Two dudes with attitudes, a wrestling podcast with your boy Ryan Enjoys Wrestling and the Heartbreak Dude Denton, and we are here with our WWE edition, y'all. Welcome back, or welcome for the first time. Thanks for tuning in, and we got a jam-packed episode. We got to do our thumbs with attitudes for Bash in Berlin and NXT No Mercy. On top of that, covering Raw, NXT segments, everything. This is just a lot of stuff happened this week in WWE. Am I right? Am I wrong? What do you think?
Yeah, no, it's a crazy week, and then today is Friday, and it's the last episode of SmackDown on Fox ever, and then before it moves to the USA Network next week, which I think can't come soon enough because I feel like Fox has kind of done the WWE a little dirty. And yeah, and then there's a bunch of stuff coming up on the horizon. There's a Vince McMahon documentary coming out on Netflix. There's a lot of fun stuff going on. So yeah, it's a jam-packed week in WWE for sure.
Yeah. And we're going to cover that episode, that show with Mr. McMahon, the Netflix documentary, all 6 episodes. So we're going to watch it together, or not together, but separately. And then we will preview it afterwards or review it and see what you guys think. So I'm going to cover it. I think it's going to be intense, pretty dark, pretty crazy. I'm excited to see it. Hopefully he dives into his weirdness with his family, which I heard he does. So hopefully we're going to hear like why he was trying to make out with his daughter in segments and pimping her out and all these other things. So I'm curious
I want to get into
the mind of him.
Yeah, I want them to get into like the Vince McMahon quirks, where apparently, like if you are around Vince McMahon and you sneeze in front of him, he'll fire you on the spot, or he'll yell at you or something. Instead of being the gentleman and saying bless you, he like gets pissed off at you. So that, like, I want to know like why, like what is it about that makes him so agitated about sneezing? Because it's just something everybody does.
I want to know how many people have sneezed on purpose. Like imagine like anything, you're just like, yeah, you're fired. You're fired.
Imagine like the power struggle with like when Triple H took over as head of creative and Vince McMahon was coming back in, and he's like, I want Omos versus Brock at WrestleMania, and Triple H is like, got you. And like Vince is like, you son of a bitch.
Is it on this paper? Here you go.
We're gonna have Cody Rhodes finish the story. That's you.
We're gonna have Cody Rhodes. Oh man. Well, either way, I'm excited to see it. I hope they dive into a lot of stuff. I'm very, very, very curious if we talk about the Macho Man Randy Savage and Stephanie McMahon thing. We probably will, but I'm curious. I've always wanted to hear about that rumor and what's the truth behind, but probably not, because one's passed away and one's now married to Triple H, but we'll see. All right. You ready? We got to get into this, bro.
Yeah, let's do it, man. We got a jam-packed show.
All right. It's Two Thumbs with Attitudes, Bash in Berlin. Let's go 1 through 5. Let's start off with Cody Rhodes defeating Kevin Owens to defend his WWE Undisputed World Championship of the Universal. All right. You ready? Thumbs up, thumbs down.
I'm going to give this one a fringe thumbs up. I thought the match was great. It was exactly what I expected it. I thought Cody Rhodes was great in the ring. Kevin Owens is always fantastic in the ring. These guys know how to wrestle. I didn't care for the build for it. I didn't really care for the story. And then the whole, like, is Kevin Owens going to turn? Is he not going to turn? That kind of took away from a little bit, but and also the kicking out of finishers was too much for me. I think Kevin Owens kicked out of 3 crossroads and Cody Rhodes kicked out of 2 stunners or something. So, but other than that, a very fringe thumbs up. It was a good way to open the show.
I agree. Thumbs up for me, even taking away from the finishers. And I made a whole TikTok post about it. So if you care about it, you can check that out on TikTok at HPD Denton. But I'm not going to go into it again with these darn finishers. But yeah, I give it a thumbs up. The handshake was whatever, but the match itself, good stuff. We knew Cody was going to win. Doesn't take away from the match. All right, number 2, we got Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair winning the women's tag team titles by defeating Alba Fire and Nyla Dawn. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
I'll go thumbs up. I thought this was the best that Jade Cargill has looked since she's been in the ring. She didn't have any botches, didn't have any missed spots. Bianca Belair is always great. I thought the Alba Fire and Nyla Dawn were good champions. They weren't necessarily great champions, and I think this is going to do wonders for Jade Cargill and Bianca, getting them more exposure now that they can be on Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. So I think it was the right result and a good match. So thumbs up.
All right. I got the same. I give it thumbs up. I like the finish of them winning the tag team titles. I think Dawn and Fire were getting stale and just weren't ready. I don't know why Trips pulled the trigger on them, but they're former champs now, so they got that on the resume. But yeah, but now I want to see Jade and Bianca do something. I don't want them to win the tag team championships and just do absolutely nothing with them again. Just like I said, we need to make finishers important again. We also got to make these damn tag team divisions important again, men's and women. So hopefully Jade and Bianca can do that before Bianca Belair turns on her in the future. All right, third match, CM Punk, your hero and mine, defeats Drew McIntyre. Pretty clean and a very confusing strap match. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
I'm going to go very, very fringe thumbs down. I thought the match was good, but there was just a lot of the lights were distracting. The red light and the green light, and I think at one point they got it mixed up because I think they said at one point Drew McIntyre was green and CM Punk was red, but then CM Punk was red and Drew McIntyre was green, and then they came up with these rules of you have to drag your opponent to all 4 corners, and you have to touch the lights, but if anything happens, if there's anything changes, then you have to reset. And then there were even the ending, CM Punk dragging Drew McIntyre, and then he would stop and hit a GTS on Drew McIntyre. Isn't that shouldn't that have restarted everything? So it was just little things like that. The execution of it. I thought this was the best match that CM Punk has been in since in quite a while. Definitely his best match in WWE. I mean, there's very slim to pick from, but he stayed healthy. He's not hurt, and he looked good. And I think Drew McIntyre looked good as well. So I'm gonna go. But just overall, I'm going to go very, very fringe thumbs down just because the execution and the match was really, really confusing.
And remember, too, ladies and gentlemen, that a thumbs down only means that he does not think it was a B or better. So 80% or better. It does not mean the match was bad. It just means that he just thought it was average.
I would say it's more of a 79%.
There you go. There you go. All right. I'm going to say thumbs up, actually. So I'm going to disagree. I just thought it was a hard-hitting match. I know it was confusing. I know it was weird, and I know we were complaining about that during our watch along that we did. Thank you everyone who tuned in, but overall I do like it. I think it's better than an 80%, and I like the outcome. I like that they gave Punk just a clean victory, no cheating, which I thought they were going to do, no having to Drew mess up to win. He just beat Drew McIntyre. I like that a lot, and I think CM Punk needed it. No matter what happens in the Hell in the Cell match that they're going to have, Punk needed a decisive victory in his return because he's yet to get one. So I was all for it. I give it a thumbs up. Let's go match number 4. We got the Terror Twins defeating Daddy Dom and Liv Morgan. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Thumbs down. This was probably my least favorite match of the night. And really just because of the outcome. I thought you're trying to build up the Judgment Day as this new dominant faction, this new force in the WWE, this new Judgment Day with no leaders and no egos. And, you screwed Rhea Ripley out of the women's title at SummerSlam. You screwed Damian Priest out of the World Heavyweight Championship out at SummerSlam. So obviously you guys are bigger, faster, and stronger without them. You don't need them. And then the first match they have, they beat you. And not only that, but Rhea Ripley pinned Liv Morgan, the women's champion, took a pin, and I just did not care for that. So in ring, sure, match was fun, great stuff, but the result and everything was just too much for me to overcome. So I'm going to say thumbs down.
All right. I respect that. This is going to make me a hypocrite when we do No Mercy, 2 thumbs with attitudes, but I'm going to say thumbs up because I'm not going to allow myself to judge by the outcome until I review No Mercy. So thumbs up just because the match itself was really fun. I hate the outcome. I'll get into it more on Monday Night Raw because I even hate more outcomes on that. But I just think story-wise, yes, Dom and Liv winning makes more for their end game is where I'm assuming they're going, but maybe they're not going that route in the end game. We shall see. But yeah, thumbs up just for the match in total. I thought it was actually a pretty entertaining match for all 4 of them. And I think Dom and Liv looked good as a tag team. So when Dom didn't look outmatched against Priest, I thought it was good time.
Yeah.
All right. Good. Main event time. Gunther, the Ring General, defends his title by defeating Randy Orton. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
I'm going thumbs up. I thought this match was fun. It started off a little slow, and it looked like Randy was getting a little, I don't know if he was soaking it in or if he was getting a little irritated at the crowd with the beach ball and the all the other chants that they were doing.
The
wave. Yeah. Not the beach ball, but the wave. Yeah. And they might as well have had a beach ball, but he was just, I could tell, like, was he getting irritated? Was he soaking it in? Was he enjoying it? But once they got going, this match was really hard hitting. It was fun. It was, I liked that Gunther at the end showed a sign of respect by shaking Randy Orton's hand. And there was no heel turn from Randy Orton. I like that the little touch of Ludwig Kaiser introducing Gunther to the ring and bringing him out. But yeah, in ring, man, everything about this match was great. I enjoyed it. And I like that Randy Orton didn't tap out. He didn't get pinned, but he just got choked out instead, and it made Gunther look strong and solidified his reign. So thumbs up.
All right. So the last 3 we disagreed. This is my only thumbs down. I almost gave Bash and Berlin a perfect, but I don't know. I was bored in this match. During our watch along, I rewatched it after. I was just bored. I don't know if Randy was hurt, if he's just too much muscle now. I don't know what was going on, or if he just wanted the slow pace. I know people said they liked it, but not a lot of slaps. And I think that's what helps a Gunther match tell his story, because the slaps are kind of incorporating in that. So since Randy took that away from him, but then like his hand was hurting the whole entire match and he couldn't slap him, but then all of a sudden he started using it randomly in the match again and then stopped not using it, and it was all over. And then it took Randy Orton, I think, 8 to 10 minutes to set up steel ladders next to a table for him just to pick Gunther up and drop him on it. No like RKO, no fancy thing. I don't know. I was just waiting for the match to happen. Wasn't my cup of tea. Thumbs down for me. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I can see that. And I remember watching it on our watch along too. And I remember complaining about the slowness too. And then I rewatched it. And I was like, it's not so bad. But yeah, no, I completely agree. And then the whole like Gunther coming out with the chest like pre-bleeding, like he had been slapped, and then they didn't even like slap at all in the match. It was just that part was very awkward to me too.
Yeah. All right, you ready for some NXT No Mercy 2 thumbs with attitudes?
Yes, sir.
Let's get into it. I'm about to rip into this ish. All right, we have Axiom and Frazier winning the tag team titles by defeating the champs Chase U. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Thumbs up for the in-ring stuff. This was a fun match. I enjoyed it. Thumbs down on the outcome. What was the point of putting the tag titles on Chase U just to have them drop them 2 weeks later to the same team that's been bickering back and forth? If anybody was going to break up, it should be Frazier and Axiom, not freaking Ridge Holland and Chase U. Made no sense. I don't get it. I didn't even like the Ridge Holland turn either. I mean, I didn't care for that either. And then his explanation on NXT didn't really make a lot of sense because, I'm finally a champion, but now I'm going to turn on him. Like, what? But anyway,
we'll get into that.
I'm going to say thumbs down, just all around. Thumbs up for the in-ring stuff, but thumbs down execution wise and the outcome. So I'm going to say thumbs down.
So this is where I'm openly going to sound like a hypocrite. I'm going to give it a thumbs down, even though I thought the match was dynamite and probably Chase U's best match. This outcome is just so stupid. I just couldn't bear it. For the last 3 months, you have been trying and hinting at breaking up Axiom and Frazier, and now you just all of a sudden have dropped that, and then Chase U for the second time has won the tag team titles, only to lose it to Axiom and Frazier a couple days later. I think they've had 2 titles in the history of Chase U for a total of 12 days. I don't know what the total is.
Ridiculous.
It's just stupid. I don't understand why they even won it. They could have had, obviously this was all for Ridge Holland to turn, which no one gives a shit about. But if you're going to have Ridge Holland turn, you could have had him turn by him not winning a title. That would have had a bigger impact than winning it and then losing it. Like he could have, I don't know. It made no sense. And then watching poor like Thea Hale like over the top cry during it, it was a little too much for me. Not my cup of tea. Thumbs way down. I mean way down.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Second match. We have Zachary Wentz, Mr. TNA himself, and he has a championship, defeating Wes Lee. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Thumbs down. I mean, look, I know we've been complaining about the TNA partnership and how it's been pretty one-sided, and now a TNA guy comes in and beats an NXT guy. So that surprised me, and I was really shocked to see that. But on the other hand, you just turned Wesley heel. You just had him turn. You're trying to build him up. You're trying to get him back into the world title picture. I mean, he was just competing for a shot at Ethan Page in the NXT championship. He lost the triple threat to Pete Dunne and Joe Hendry, and now he comes in his first match, one of his first matches since returning, and he loses. It made no sense. I mean, again, in ring, I mean, these guys, they know what they're doing in the ring. These guys are professionals. Wesley's probably one of the best wrestlers on that whole entire roster. But again, outcome, man, this was the wrong decision. You're trying to build this guy up as a credible heel. Why should I take him seriously now when he can't even beat a guy that doesn't even work for the company?
I fully agree, and I'm gonna once again thumbs down for this match big time because of the outcome. This match was really good, but this outcome is just too awful for me to keep it up in a thumbs up. I'll sound like a hypocrite too when I praise other TNA things going on NXT, but like you said, Wesley is a young rising star, up and comer, the future probably of NXT for the next few years. He just finally changed his character into being a villain, and you just have him lose clean in a match against a guy from another organization.
Yeah.
Stupid booking. Have him cheat to win. So Zachary Wentz gets the out, and then I don't know. It made zero sense to me.
Yeah,
I don't like it at all. And I think it hurts Wesley more than it helps Zachary Wentz. All right, number 3 in the match that the crowd forgot even happened. Kalani Jordan defends her title versus Wendy Choo. Defends her title, her North American Women's Championship. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
I hate to be a negative Nancy on No Mercy, but I'm gonna say thumbs down. This match, I wasn't excited about it going in to No Mercy. Wendy Choo just doesn't do it for me. Kalani Jordan's a good women's North American champion, and she's doing the best that she can. But this crowd, the crowd's energy took me out of this match because there was really none. So they didn't seem to care. So why should I care? And I'm glad that it was the right outcome for once on this show. But I'm gonna say thumbs down. I did not care about this match whatsoever.
This is a perfect example of putting two people together who don't belong together, and it made no sense. This is it. Big time thumbs down. The outcome was fine, but this match was just bad. The crowd gave no shits. They didn't react to Wendy Choo. When she had offense on, they sat on their hands. Wendy Choo's the same character, except she used to sleep and have positive dreams, and now she has nightmares. So she's like Wendy Choo, sleepy nightmare girl, against Kalani Jordan, who's being praised as a outside sports star who's coming in with her athletic abilities. It just doesn't make sense. You're having like a weird Wyatt Six type character against an athlete. And I know you're going to say, well, that's exactly what they're doing with Chad Gable. Yeah, well, people don't think that's working either. So it didn't hit for me. The crowd hated it. I didn't like the match. Sorry, Wendy Choo. Better luck next time, homie. All right. Now we got the North American men's title. Oba Femi, Mr. Wakanda Forever himself, defeats Tony D to defend his championship. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
I'm going to go thumbs up on this one. I enjoyed this match. I thought, Oba Femi, he's getting better and better as in the ring. And Tony D'Angelo, he's one of those guys who could wrestle a mop and it would be wildly entertaining. I mean, he's very underrated with his skills on NXT, and I think he brought the best out of Oba. I think Oba, like I said, he's coming into his own as North American champion. I like that he's kind of this unstoppable force now that all these people keep trying to step up and they keep failing. So I like what they're doing with him. And it looks like Tony D'Angelo is not quite done with him either after this loss, but I don't think it hurts him at all. So I'm going to say thumbs up. This was probably the first thumbs up, maybe one of the only thumbs up for me from the night.
Yeah, I thumbs up as well. I thought this was the match of the night easily. Obafemi is that dude. I wanted Tony D to win, but it doesn't mean that it makes the match bad. I don't think it was necessary. I just want to see Tony D get what he deserves. I'll go more into that on NXT, but yeah, I like this match. Way big thumbs up on both of these guys have. I like that Tony D didn't look outmatched by him. It was very interesting.
Agreed.
All right, we got the beautiful Roxanne Perez defending her title versus Jada Parker for the women's championship, and we have Julia debut after the match. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
I'm gonna go fringe thumbs up. This match was fun. It was entertaining. It was, I mean, the right person won. Jada Parker, as good as she is, she's just not quite ready to be NXT Women's Champion. The highlight of the night for me, though, was the debut of Julia. She looks intimidating. She looks good. And I'm excited to see what Roxanne and Julia do going forward. So I did like that. That was probably the only surprise of the night. And yeah, I mean, that's nothing else really to say about the match. I mean, match was what it was, but I think the crowd kind of woke up when Julia came out, and I think that helped them a lot. That helped move the show along as well.
Yeah, I give this match a thumbs up for sure. Roxanne can do no wrong. Jada looked good. She didn't need to win. Never was going to. But I like Julia's debut, and man, the NXT crowd loved her, man. They always say NXT crowd is similar to an AEW crowd. They'll kind of know people you're not supposed to know. They knew who she was and gave her a pretty loud eruption when she appeared. So yeah, I'm digging it, and we'll get more into that on NXT. So, all right, main event time. One of your heroes, Ethan Page, defeated Joe Hendry with Trick Williams as a special guest referee to defend the men's championship. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Man, I'm going to go thumbs down. This match, just everything about it was just a clunky mess. Even the Trick Williams as the ref, why was he so convinced or so concerned about calling it down the middle when Ethan Page has been nothing but a thorn in his side? And like, why is he trying? I don't know. I feel like he's trying too hard to be the good guy. And then the Joe Hendry, I still just don't understand what the allure is with Joe Hendry. I don't quite get it. And even the finish was clunky with the low blow and Trick Williams having to count. And then like the one ref spot too, where another ref came out, and then Trick Williams is out there like, no, I'm the ref. It was just, all of it was just really, really clunky and crazy. But I'm gonna say thumbs down. Right outcome. I'm glad they didn't put the belt on Joe Hendry. I'm glad Ethan Page is still NXT champion. But yeah, just a clunky match. So thumbs down.
This is thumbs all the way down, and damn, do I not believe in Joe Hendry. His matches are not good. He doesn't look good. He doesn't look like a star. Doesn't present himself like a star. I'll go on and on about it. I just can't do it anymore. Get this guy off my screen.
But he was in PXW in 1993, and that's why you should care about him.
That is true. I forgot my Wikipedia lesson. Damn it. All right. Let me I'll DM light skin and suplex as soon as I'm done with this, leaving myself a note. All right. So, but yeah, no, this was like, and I thought the match was embarrassing. And the worst part was that Trick Williams is probably the worst special guest referee ever, and not meaning in his work that he did as a ref, because he's the best ever in that aspect. But what the fudge was the point? So he can get attacked by Butch afterwards? Like, I don't understand why was he there? And why did he stop the referee from counting just so he can? But then Ethan Page won anyway. It was an Ethan Page stop, and then he just called it down the middle, raised his hand.
All of it was bad.
Didn't even build anything. I gotta say this, man. You know you are a diehard babyface when you just refuse to do anything incorrectly. When this is like John Cena Prime PG doing a special guest referee match. Like,
Rhodes.
so yeah, Cody Rhodes right now in the Terra
Yeah.
Twins. Like, we're going to call this right down the metal. Gosh darn it. Then don't have him as a special guest referee.
No.
The end. So it didn't make any sense. Thumbs all the way down. I'm glad Ethan Page is moving on. Although we're about to get into it because I think he's going to be losing his title in a week or so, whenever that debut on CW is. But all right. So that was our two thumbs with attitudes. What a ranking system. I think we did pretty good. I
think we killed it with the time too. We did good.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. All right. Well, now it's time to get raw, if you know what I mean. The only way I like to be. Let's get into it. It's our Monday Night Raw recap. And we open up with Wade Barrett and Joe Testatori. And the crowd goes mild. Rhea Ripley walking out doing her best Cody Rhodes impression. Daddy Dom interrupts and the crowd won't even let him speak. Liv attacks and Priest makes the save. I feel like I've seen this before. Rhea's leg is messed up now, and she gets a walking boot. Is it the same one as Jacob Fatu's? Because then she'll get superpowers.
Maybe.
American
Follow for that.
Dude, she does need
the
that.
necklace.
Yeah, then she'll really have superpowers. American May defeat Alpha Academy. After the match, Chad Gable challenges the Wyatt Six, and Uncle Howdy accepts, I think. I have no idea what he said. Shayna Baszler defeats Selena Vega, who still is sexy AF. After the match, Lyra Valkyria, who decides that she's going to be the new Pete Dunne of the women's division, makes the save. More on that later. Vega and Valkyria want pure fusion, and that's not a smoothie. That's a group. CM Punk out for a promo. He wants the title, but Drew McIntyre attacks and legitimately destroys him. So much so that he knocks the shoe off his foot, ladies and gentlemen. He claymored him so damn hard, his shoe wanted no part of it. After the break, Punk, actually, Drew breaks the bracelet and shoves it in Punk's mouth and then claymores him again. Yikes. After the break, Punk is being stretchered out, literally tied up and being stretchered. And who pops out to say goodbye? Drew McIntyre whoops that ass even more. He was not done, ladies and gentlemen. Shit was dope. Dragunov wins the tournament elimination to advance to something I don't give two shits about. Braun Strowman, his hands, fingers. He can't feel his fingers.
Well, now he can.
Can't feel his fingers. He's added to the tournament. Now, before I get, we'll talk about this after. Dawn and Fire defeat Damage Control to become #1 contenders, and Io Sky almost loses her eyeball. I don't know what the heck happened in that match. Kofi Kingston wants a title shot because his partner now is in jail. Jey Uso will tag with Damian Priest later on tonight. Gunther out for a promo, and out comes Sami Zayn to challenge him. Gunther says, no. Braun Breaker tells Jey Uso to drop out of the tournament, but Uso isn't afraid. I'm not afraid. Braun Strowman can't feel his fingers. Wins the Eliminator match to advance in the tournament. Pete Dunne does not want to be called Butch. All right. And in the main event, Damian Priest and Jey Uso yeet themselves to victory by defeating the tag team champions who have never defended their titles to close the show. And that's the Monday Night Raw review. Can't feel his fingers, but I'm going to... Okay, let's start with that.
Yes.
Can we please start off with the fact that Bronson Reed jumped off of a thing, landed on Braun Strowman, crushing him into a car that then imploded all over the place to where he said, I gotta feel my fingers. And then which Adam Pearce came over and said, he can't feel his fingers. And then Bronson Reed is unable to wrestle the following week, but Braun Strowman is. Hit me with the logic. Let's go. I'm ready for it because I've been wondering all week how this is any way shape possible.
Bronson Reed, the morning of Monday Night Raw, or the day of Monday Night Raw, came down with COVID-19. And so he was unable to travel and be in the arena wherever they were for Monday Night Raw because he had COVID-19.
That's not story. That's not storyline.
No.
I want to hear story.
Yeah.
I
have no idea. I have no idea.
I'm talking in story. I'm not talking real life.
Yeah, so that's the story in real life. So that's the based on a true story. But as far as what they're doing in the ring, I don't know. I don't understand because they even like last week on Raw, they even hinted Michael Cole was like, splurging in his pants at the fact that Bronson Reed got up and just walked away. After that vicious assault, and Braun Strowman can't feel his fingers. Bronson Reed's just walking away from it all. And and now they add Braun Strowman to this match for whatever reason. And not only that, but he wins
without fingers.
Yeah, he wins with. I do not understand what they're doing. Is he going to win is he going to go? Is it going to be Braun versus Braun? Is that what we're getting at?
With Braun son interrupting.
I feel like that's kind of the direction we're going in, but I don't know, man. I did not. Why? I did not understand. And this whole Intercontinental tournament too is really stupid as well. Just it's a turn. You got to win a bunch of what 4-way matches to get a bunch of triple. To
get a 4-way.
Yeah, you got to win a bunch of triple threats to get a 4-way, and it just makes no sense for the winner to wrestle Braun Breaker at Bad Blood. I don't get it, man. It's not a tournament. You can't call it a tournament if it's triple threat matches.
It's not, yeah. But you also can't have a 4-way unless you've already had a 3-way. But yeah, you got to get some experience before you try to go to the big show.
I know.
No, and sad that he got COVID, although I didn't know that was a thing anymore. But I do, but like story-wise, put anybody else in it. Jey Uso's winning this. If Jey Uso doesn't win, then what the hell was the point of that backstage segment? Like, then you're just having pointless segments for no reason. So Braun didn't have to win this match. He didn't. I don't understand Triple H is thinking of putting him in it. You have tons of other wrestlers that could have stepped in.
And then even then, Adam Pearce, like, it makes him look like an absolute buffoon too, because he's like, I've been thinking all day, who am I going to put in the match? Who am I going to put in this match? I've got no clue. Like, I can't. Oh, hey, Braun Strowman. Well, look me in the eye and tell me you can do it. Like why would you think he could do it of all people if you don't think Bronson Reed's not cleared? Why would you think Braun Strowman's like? I don't understand it. You didn't have somebody in mind. You didn't have you had all day in storyline mode. You've had all day to think about this, and you wait until 30 minutes into the show to pick a guy who just walks up to you. So if I had walked up to Adam Pearce back, would I be in the Intercontinental Championship tournament? I mean, who knows?
Yeah. Maybe, but I would have thought his PTSD from can't feel his fingers would have affected him from making that decision. But obviously, Adam Pearce does not give any craps about your health.
And that's the other thing too. Like, I'm sorry, but I talked the other week about Roman Reigns and the assault that he took from Jacob Fatu, and how I didn't think it was vicious enough, and how he beat him up in a walking boot, but that kept him off of TV for 2 weeks. That he got put through a table.
Yeah,
Braun Strowman got he got pancaked. He got tsunami off a car, or onto a car.
Up.
Yeah, and the car blew up, and he's like, he can't feel his fingers. He's getting stretchered out. He literally wrestled the next week. I'm sorry. I just, some of these things that they do just do not make any sense to me. Roman Reigns is written off TV for going through a triple powerbomb through a table. That's it. We see that happen all the time. But triple powerbomb through a table, he's off TV for 2 to 3 weeks. Braun Strowman literally wrestles the next week after getting real glass Crimea River broken into him after getting powerbombed or tsunamied off a car. Don't get it.
Not me neither. I mean, Trick Williams got knocked off the apron as a special guest referee and was down for 4.5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, I don't. Who needs logic? Yeah, but speaking of logic, I get that you have a new announcer for Monday Night Raw. Why the hell are you opening up your show to the audience with a new announcer that they can't hear? I didn't understand that. I don't give two shits as a fan who announces, let alone do I need you to open up my Monday Night Raw. I'm sorry. I love Wade Barrett. I love announcers. I like listening to them. I'll give this guy a shot, even though I know he's not going to last longer than a few months because none of them do outside of this sport. But why did we open up? The crowd was like, cool. Can we just get Monday Night Raw going? I thought it was a stupid way to open. I just wanted to throw that out.
Yeah, I didn't
dive into it, but I
didn't like how they opened it with them. Yeah, with them in the ring. It was all awkward and weird. And I agree. I don't because I Wikipedia'd this Joe Tessitore guy, and I thought he did a decent job. He was a little off at first. I thought, you could tell he hadn't been there, and this was his first night because he missed some cues, and there was a lot of dead air and stuff. But I think there's growing pains, but he's still working for ESPN and ABC. And so when the NBA season comes back, is he going to leave? Because this is Pat McAfee's gone because of of
he's just there till McAfee's back. It's just like a filler.
And so it's just I don't. then stop doing it. I'm sorry. Like, we got to get
Yeah.
some consistency with commentary, because I was just getting used to Pat McAfee and Michael Cole, and you take them away. And before that, I was used to Wade Barrett and Michael Cole, and you take them away. And now we have Wade Barrett and Joe Testatori, and I'll give him a chance. But yeah, I didn't.
He was flat. Yeah, there's levels to this, bro. Having to say like slam dunk and touchdown is a lot different than having to acknowledge the fact that Rhea Ripley's hanging from her leg on the ropes. Do you remember that whole part? It was just his reactions were awful, and like it's Drew McIntyre in a hoodie. Like, Christ, dude. Like, there was just a lot of bad. It was like laughable. That's the thing, because it's like, dude, stop literally stating everything. Like, like Rhea Ripley's hanging from the rope. How could they do that? Because they're heels, bro. Like, what is happening here right now? Like, bro, stop speaking in literal just do them anyway. Let's move on. Let's talk about Judgment Day and Terror Twins. Come on, I'll let you start. Let's go with it.
What are we doing with these? Why are they losing again? I don't understand. And now Jey Uso's involved, and he had the backstage moment with the interview, and he's like, anything for a chance at Rhea. And Bron Breakker calling him out for getting Dominic sloppy seconds. I mean, I thought that was a good line, but still, even then, just like Jey Uso back with, he's trying to get with Rhea Ripley again. What are we? I'm so confused as to what they're doing. Like, why is Judgment Day losing? What is Jey Uso doing? What happened just a few weeks ago? They were talking about teasing Sami Zayn versus and Jey Uso versus the Judgment Day for the tag titles.
I thought they had a title shot.
And they've completely like gone away from that. I don't understand what they're doing, because Sami Zayn's off to other things now, and it's just what in the world is going? I don't understand. Judgment Day losing, Jey Uso trying to get with Rhea. Why are Damian Priest and Rhea still like a thing? What is the point of this feud even continuing? Because Damian Priest and Rhea are up 2-0. So what's the point now? Like, it makes no sense. Move on to somebody else.
My thing is, the only way I see this in a good way is if Priest and Rhea lose to Finn and Liv. If they don't, then all this was stupid and pointless. You just don't have them completely clear them out and then win your singles matches as well. The only thing I don't get is Jey Uso. This guy was in the bloodline forever, was the most loved one, I think, other than Sami Zayn in the bloodline, moved on, as it's done nothing but paired up with people. He paired up with Cody, pairs up with the Judgment, and now he's paired up with this. Now he's pairing up with the Terror Twins. I mean, not the Judgment Day. He's just pairing, like, let this man cook, man. If he's their biggest merch seller, then have him only say yeet 2 times a promo and have him have a solo run. Stop with this freaking pairing up. And the whole time is like his hands raised. He's like checking out Rhea. Rhea then one boot up in the air is yeeting after the match with him, and Priest is yeeting. Just what the hell? Okay. This has always been my biggest flaw with heels turning into baby faces. They all become Cody Rhodes, and I flippin' hate it. Please tell me why Rhea Ripley now is walking out like this. It's Rhea Ripley, yay!
Yeah.
I want to yeet all over myself. Like, what? And then Priest is like, you got me a partner? Cool. I know who it is. You tell him I said what up. Damian Priest. It's just so flipping stupid. Why are they liked? Why was Rhea Ripley liked? Because she was mommy, she was despicable, she was badass, she didn't take no nut muck from anybody. Now she's eating with a boot on and kissing babies. Damian Priest with Gunther started to get over. Why? Because he didn't care. He was from the hood. Now I'm waiting for him to say he's from Beverly Hills next week. Well, I was in my yacht yesterday and hanging out with Cody Rhodes, and I thought, like, hey, fantastic. They're all going to have blonde hair next week. It's so flippant. Why do we do this? Let them be the same person. If the crowd is cheering for them, they are baby faces. They don't have to do heel antics, but they also don't have to be Full House. It's so flippin' stupid. They are ruining territories. I don't care. People fighting me on TikTok, fight me all day. Quote me now. If they continue on this path, the fans will turn on them in 3 months, just like they did Cody, just like they'll do anybody else who's ever turned into a babyface. Quote me. Quote me right now. Quote me.
Yeah.
They're turning on Sami Zayn right now. Quote me. The fans will turn on them.
I fully agree. I completely agree. I think that what they're doing. I don't understand these babyface. I mean, and Damian Priest and Jey Uso had a match against each other at Backlash for the title, and they have history with each other. And then
they're best
Jey
friends.
Uso was they were in the War Games match against each other just in
Best
Survivor
friends.
Series last year, and now they're just besties now, and everyone's cool with everyone. Like at least when like the one thing I liked about when Jey came to Raw was Drew McIntyre was just like, why is he here? Like, why am I supposed to forgive him for everything that he's done? Like, I liked how they kind of introduced him. Now, like, I wish they would do more of that when other people turn from heel to babyface. But no, it's just everybody's besties now. Everybody, we've been friends for a long time, and she's checking out Rhea, and makes no sense. I don't understand it. And please don't put Jey Uso with Rhea Ripley. Please don't.
No.
I'll be out.
Don't put 100%. Like, leave Rhea and let Rhea and Priest go separate. They can be friends and not have to be together. Like, let them they can go against the Judgment Day without being together. Just separate them. Terra Twins is stupid. There's no Terra in them right now. I'll tell you that much.
And and keep Jey Uso far from it as well.
Yes.
I don't can't do it.
All right. I'll let you go. What do you want to do?
I want to talk Sami Zayn and Gunther.
Let's go.
I actually am stoked about this match, and I'm stoked about I thought this was the best promo I've heard from Sami Zayn in quite a while, because it wasn't the typical woe is me, I don't know if I can beat you, I don't know if I can do it, oh, I need a pep talk from Cody Rhodes on how I can beat Roman Reigns at Elimination Chamber. Like, it was more of like, hey, you've got the title that's eluded me, and I'm the person that's always eluded you. I beat you before. I know I can do it again. I liked how confident Sami Zayn was in his promo. I liked that he wasn't the typical, he wasn't emotional. He didn't need to go on a 2-week hiatus because he lost the Intercontinental Championship. He's ready to move on to the world title. And I liked how he got under Gunther's skin. He wasn't afraid of Gunther, and I dug it. And I think Gunther versus Sami is going to be a fun match, and I'm excited about where they go with it. So I dug that promo.
It's so funny because I watched this and I was like, yeah. I'm like, that's what I'm talking. Only person to beat Gunther. Gonna come back. Gunther saying no because he afraid. Sami brought that up. Let's go cooking. I was like all Gen Z-ing out. I was like, what up? I was like, this busted right, y'all. Let's get it. Oh my God. I was risen all over my jizzing. And then what happens? I go on TikTok and people are like, this is stupid. What the heck? Everyone's crapping on it. I'm like, wait, what? That's the last guy to beat the storytelling. It's like we're literally I was very confused. No, man, I'm all for it. The match is going to be amazing. We've seen their matches before. It makes sense. Sami finally getting some title shots again makes sense. It's what he needs to be doing, just like his boy Kevin Owens. Let them cook. The shit's going to be fire. And Gunther saying no makes sense. He's the villain, and he's lost to him. You don't want to face the only guy that's ever beat him. He's a bad guy. Only good guys do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They'll kiss a baby and say, yeah, I'll challenge you. You beat me every time. Let's do it. Let's yeet. Let's go. Last thing, right? Let's talk this Punk and Drew or what?
Yeah.
Unless you want to talk about Uncle Howdy's promo, but we can.
Yeah, we'll save that for another day.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that was awkward AF. But yeah, let's get into it. What'd you like? What you didn't like? You better liked it all, homie.
I liked all of it. I mean, I liked all of it. I liked the bait and switch, where they made us think that we're getting CM Punk versus Gunther next, and that CM Punk is moving on. And the only thing I didn't like was Joe Tessitore on commentary pointing out the obvious of Drew McIntyre in the hoodie. But the beatdown from McIntyre, all of it was good. Knocked his shoe off, busting CM Punk open. CM Punk convulsing on the stretcher, just shaking. I thought that was a little over dramatic, I think, but still well done. Nothing that took me out of the moment. I liked all of this. I was curious to see how this feud was going to continue going, if it was going to continue at all after the stuff at Bash in Berlin and Punk got the bracelet back. And then at the press conference, he talked about wrestling for the title next and going after Gunther. But now that doesn't seem to be the case. And I like that they're not fighting over the damn bracelet anymore. I'm glad that Drew McIntyre destroyed it. And now this is just a personal blood match. And I can't wait for it. I can't wait for round 3.
I agree with everything you said. I mean, we had a shoe get knocked off. We had a man have beads shoved into his mouth. We had CM Punk chew a perfect blood capsule for Halloween coming up as soon as he got popped in the mouth when he was on the stretcher. Everything worked out on this thing. We get the feud going. The best feud in WWE is continuing. I loved it all. And props to CM Punk for not choking on a bead. He put those things in his mouth and they got claymored instantly. And I don't know where he put them, if he spit them out before. I didn't see the beads in the ring after. I don't know what the hell he did with those things. Maybe he's used to taking beads in his mouth. I don't know. But either way, I love it. And I'm so happy that bracelet is done. Move the F on. Let's get. I didn't want a bracelet on a pole match. I want Hell in a Cell, which we're probably going to get. Let's go. This is going to be awesome. And CM Punk's going to probably finish him off. And I'm all for that. Drew can move on from it. He's the bad guy. He'll be fine. But Drew, best thing in wrestling right now? All of wrestling?
He might be. He is cooking right now.
AEW, WWE. I mean, this guy is on another level. All right.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And again, I've said it before. I'll go and then we'll move on. But he has carried this feud with CM Punk.
Yep.
And he continues to do it week in and week out.
Mm-hmm. That beatdown was unreal. All right. NXT time. You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. Whoop That Trick opens up the show. Ethan Page interrupts and Pete Dunne attacks Trick from behind. The Rascals from TNA defeat Gallus and Hank and Tank to become the #1 contenders. Afterwards, Axiom and Frazier are ready to defend, and the Rascals are ready to take the belts to TNA. Lexis King, your favorite wrestler of all time, defeats Ova Mensa. Stax and Oba are going to wrestle later on tonight. Gallus want the Heritage Cup now, I guess. Everybody wants this damn Heritage Cup. Tatum Paxley defeats Rosemary from TNA. After the match, Lyra Valkyria makes the save. I told you she's the new Pete Dunne. Speaking of Pete Dunne and Trick Williams, they fight backstage. So Ava says, "You guys are matching right now." After Jordan Grace cuts a promo saying she will defend her TNA Knockout title next week on NXT. It's cooking. Pete Dunne and Trick Williams end in a double countout. Ridge Holland turned on Chase U because they are weak. He broke Duke's trophy, and next week he starts to take them all out one by one. Sean Spears thanks Brooks Jensen for some reason. Javon Evans finally wins a match by defeating Joe Coffey. Poor Gallus. Lyra didn't want to come back to NXT. Yikes. But she did to help Paxley. Pete Dunne versus Trick Williams. Last man standing match next week to determine the #1 contender. Oba Femi defeats Stax in the surprise of the night. Javon Evans now wants a Heritage Cup shot as well. I told you, everybody wants his damn Heritage Cup. Jada Parker defeats Jasmine Nix. Roxanne Perez out for a promo, and Chelsea Green interrupts looking like a... Holy cow, like, dude, Zack Ryder, just like leave her for a month or something. Let me have a couple shots with her, dude. Even if I can't get it, just let me. Please, Zack Ryder. You're a god, Zack Ryder. To say she's the #1 contender, and then Julia interrupts and lays out Chelsea, and she'll challenge Perez at the first show on the CW. And that was the NXT review. A lot happened. Where do you want to start? A lot of things to cover.
I want to talk this Pete Dunne, Trick Williams stuff, because I'm sorry, like I'm over it. I don't care anymore. And I know that I know that's probably not nice of me to say, but I just really I haven't cared about this feud since they started. And now and now they're competing for the #1 contendership for the NXT championship in a last man standing match. And their match ends in a double count out. It was supposed to be the main event, but because they don't have a handle on things, they're going ahead and let them fight now. It was just, I don't know. I'm just over this feud. And I think it's because Pete Dunne more so than anything, because on Raw, he's like, "Don't call me Butch." And that's the reason I'm fighting Sheamus. But then on NXT, he's fighting Trick Williams, and it's just, there's no continuity. Like I was half expecting Sheamus to come out and interfere and cost him the match against Trick. And then that kind of at least furthers that story on Raw and ends his story with Trick. But and maybe that's going to be the case next week with the last man standing match. But either way, I'm just over this feud. I'm ready for Trick to move on to better things. And Pete Dunne, like, keep him on NXT or put him on Raw, but stop with this going back and forth stuff.
And now we're doing with Lyra Valkyria. I don't understand. Yeah. Now she's in two feuds. She did a save on Raw and is forming a team, and then she goes to NXT and makes a save, and now she's forming a team. So I'm okay with double booking when it's what Chelsea Green did. She is literally doing nothing on TV, so she comes over to NXT to try to wrestle and then gets beat up. Okay, perfect. Nice way to build up Julia. what are like we got to stop like Val Kilmer. I was so confused. I'm like, now she's here. Like, what the
She
hell?
was just drafted.
Yes, and you're having two different like things going. So there's like, why are you doing? I don't know. It's so damn confusing. And we all know Trick's gonna win next week. He's gonna beat Ethan Page at the first ever seed. They're not gonna do a CW without Ethan Page losing. They're not gonna end their first ever.
Hendry. They're gonna put it on Joe Hendry.
Oh my god. Either way, I mean, but Trick and Dunn are fighting for the number one. I mean, they're gonna have. I don't see what the outcome is here other than that. So it's like, why are we taking so long to get there? Because Trick could have just won this match this week and then next week build him and Ethan Page again,
exactly,
having him win again and then no build into CW. So I'm very confused by all this, but it is what it is. I mean, it's first world problems, right? It's like
exactly.
It's good. We're getting there, but why complain? Speaking of something I want to bring up, it's the Rascals. So I was anti Zachary Wentz winning. I think it was stupid, this and that. But I'm pro them getting a TNA or getting a NXT Tag Team Championship match because I think it's two different things. So I like that in this pairing, they're starting to give TNA a rub because that's what they need to do. TNA probably finally said, like, bro, like, what's the hell? Or what are we doing sending people over? But in this episode alone, I mean, they did Rosemary wrong, but who's a pretty big star over in TNA. But they had the Rascals. So now we get the Rascals going up against Axiom and Frazier. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm okay with them winning the belts. I think it would be interesting for them to have the NXT titles and taking it to TNA and defending it on TNA. I think that's good TV. I just didn't want Zachary Wentz to beat Wes Lee, who's an up-and-coming star, trying to build up a brand new character. If he would have already been that villain for a while, then I'd have been okay with the loss. But he had just transformed and then just lost instantly. I didn't dig that. And we still could have got the Rascals getting a title shot without Zachary Wentz winning. But we got Zachary Wentz. Now we got Jordan Grace coming back to defend her. See, she's defending the title on NXT. I'm all for this. Now we're starting to cook with what we're supposed to do on this. You know what I mean? I'm starting to like it. Starting to seem a little bit more fair, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, I'm all for it now too. I still just as long as Joe Hendry's not around, I'm
get off my screen. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I like how they're doing it. I like that. I want the Rascals to win the NXT Tag Team Championships and take them over to TNA. I think that would be huge for TNA, and I think Jordan Grace coming to the first episode of NXT on CW and defending her title, I think that's going to be fantastic, and I think that's huge for NXT and for TNA, because now you have not just one title, the Women's Championship with Julia and Roxanne Perez, but now you have Jordan Grace defending her title, and maybe Kalani Jordan defends her title as well. So you have 3 potential women's matches on the card as well. So I'm all for it. I like what they're doing. I'm curious to see who Jordan Grace is going to defend against, and I'm stoked to see the Rascals against Axiom and Frazier.
Yeah, but Jordan Grace isn't on CW. She's on next week.
It's next week. Okay.
She's on next week. She's doing the one.
Oh, it's WWE.
For some reason,
that's right.
Everybody's on USA or what? They're all on USA Network. Yeah.
Because for the next 3 weeks, because SmackDown's on USA, and Raw's on USA. Because SmackDown debuts on USA next week, and Raw's on USA.
Why
through the end of the year. Yeah.
And NXT is just for until they're on the
until
CW.
they move to CW. Yeah. So they're doing WWE weeks. She's 3 weeks. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
But yeah, that's still great for TNA and the NXT partnership.
I agree 100%. All right. Anything else you want to bring up?
Not really. I mean, it was
all right.
I mean, yeah, it was what it was.
The last thing I did like the Julia thing. I thought she felt like a star. She got a huge cheer. That's a debut. That's what you want from a debut. So I'm all in on her. I'm a little shocked that they're giving her an instant title match because doesn't she kind of have to win? I mean, if she loses, like, you know what I mean? Like, where does she go? You're just going to have her debut with no buildup and just have her fight for that title instantly and then lose?
And even if she wins,
kind of has...
Yeah, what's the story?
Well, now well, Ethan Page just came and won too. Is that the new way of doing things? I mean, I'm all for it, but I just think, man, that was like, you're here, bada bing, bada boom. And speaking of bada bing, bada boom, I did like that Tony D has not left the building on the North American Championship. Gives me hope that he's going to win that title. They're continuing the feud for a reason. So I did like that too. So.
And I like how he sent Stax to take care of business. I like that.
Stax didn't seem to care. He was like, let's go.
He's like, okay, let's go. Okay. He's like, what are you doing? I don't understand. What are you doing?
Yeah, I would have been like, nah, forget about it. I'm going to eat a pizza. It's a
Mamma
Mario. Here I go. Woo. I would have went right into a pipe. Click, 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 click. All right. That's not us being racist. That's just a joke, y'all. I love
Mario.
Italian people. It's the Mario. All right. You ready for our segment? We good?
Yes, sir.
All right. I think we got a jam for this, right?
I sure do.
So we'll build it up. Let's go when you're ready.
Unpopular opinion, time to get them. They ain't hating, just listen. If you don't agree, man, they get it. They gon' say it with their chest, even if you upset. They can take the heat, none of this get some stress. This is something they been holding in. Two dudes ain't afraid to tell them what it is. And you might even agree. So open up your minds, come and listen to the team.
And they might even agree. I love it. All right. It is unpopular opinion time. It's where we're each going to give a couple unpopular opinions, meaning that the mass majority of fans do not agree with this opinion. It does not mean nobody does. It just means it's not that popular. Yeah. It's not that popular. All right. We got, as always, Brian going first. What's your first unpopular? It looks like you have it already ready to go.
I got it ready to rock and roll.
Holy cow.
All right, let me get my. All right, so my unpopular opinion is I know that it's only been 1 month and he hasn't held the belt very long, but I already think Gunther's championship reign is far more interesting than Cody Rhodes in his championship reign. The match with Randy Orton at Bash in Berlin was good. It was a good match, but there was a built-in story to it and there was a reason to care. You know, Gunther pinned Randy Orton at King of the Ring, and with all, Randy Orton's shoulder wasn't technically down, and there was a lot of controversy behind it. So when he was Gunther's first opponent after winning the World Heavyweight Championship, there was a reason to be invested and a reason to care about their match at Bash. And now he's most likely going after Sami Zayn, the last man who beat Gunther. And the world title has always eluded Sami, and Sami has always been kind of the thorn in Gunther's side. So there's a built-in story and a reason to care there. And then after Sami, it looks like Gunther will be facing maybe CM Punk, a man going for his first piece of WWE gold since 2013. And he's going up against, arguably the best wrestler that WWE has right now on its entire roster. So we have a reason to care, and we have a built-in story there if that's the direction that they go. And then if he ever gets that rematch with Damian Priest in the future, there's a story there and a story to care with them. Cody, on the other hand, he's faced AJ Styles in a match that had no build or story. AJ won a tournament and got that opportunity. Then he was gift wrapped Logan Paul for some reason at King of the Ring in a match that had no build, story, or purpose whatsoever. Then he faced AJ Styles again when AJ faked a retirement, and that was the whole angle going into that match, but there was no story or build for that. And then he moved back to the Bloodline and faced Solo Sikoa, which ultimately led to the return of Roman Reigns. Then this past week at Bash, he faced Kevin Owens in a match where KO didn't even want the damn title shot in the first place. And the whole thing was about whether or not KO would turn heel. And now he might be facing the Bloodline again. So, Cody's had some great matches, don't get me wrong, but I feel like the in-ring stuff and the wrestling stuff has been nothing short of fantastic with Cody Rhodes. But Gunther's short reign, in my opinion, is already way more interesting as far as stories and as far as reasons to care about his matches and everything. And again, that's not to say that Cody's can't get better, and it probably will. We got The Rock potentially coming back soon, and that'll automatically elevate Cody's reign. We could get Roman Cody 3, and there's reason to care for that as well. If Randy Orton ever turns heel and takes out Cody, then that could help him as well. But right now, my unpopular opinion is that Gunther's reign is way more interesting and intriguing than Cody Rhodes' championship reign.
Well said. Not much to add to that. That should be a popular opinion, easily, but I guarantee it's not. People love it from Cody Rhodes. Here's the thing, right? And this is the one thing I'm going to say. If you had Gunther facing AJ Styles, if you had Gunther facing Kevin Owens, if you had Gunther facing Logan Paul, and we switched those over to him, you would still say that he's having the better title run. And the reason why is because I am a Cody Rhodes fan. I do love Cody Rhodes. This is not me hating. I just don't think he's that guy because he needs people to make him feel important. And you made it up right now. What did you say? You said Yes, his title reign's going to get better because The Rock's going to come back.
Yeah,
Roman
Randy.
Reigns, no. Cody Rhodes felt important during the entire Roman Reigns feud. As soon as that was gone, every match he has had has not felt important because he's not that guy. Gunther is that guy. No matter who you put against Gunther, it's going to feel important. It's going to feel good. It's going to have a good story. He's going to build that story. Cody, for whatever reason, just once again, it's that no one gives a crap about an over-the-top happy baby face. I get it.
No,
I get it.
Yeah.
All the parents who bring their kids, they all want Cody Rhodes shirts. I get it. They all wanted John Cena shirts. I get it. He can do that without the title. John Cena could as well. I think it's time to get this title off Cody. I can care less if he faces The Rock or does any. I'm done with the story, and Roman seems to already moved on from Cody. I really don't think we need it. I think Cody, I'm all for Cody dropping to the solo and moving on. Cody can still come out. Yeah, Cody can still come out, kiss babies, do everything, sell merch, be the face of the company without the title. I just don't think it needs a reason. Yeah. It really, really does. It half felt like when Shawn Michaels first won his title. I'm the biggest Shawn Michaels fan ever, but he won that damn title, and what was he doing? Smiling, hugging people, kissing babies, signing autographs with Jose Lothario, and nobody liked it. So what did he do? He turned. He started to get evil. He had that match with Mankind at Mind Games, which I think is the greatest match of all time in Shawn Michaels' career. And he got a villain side, and then he ended up losing a smile. When he came back, he was forming DX and becoming like, you can't, like, people don't want to see that. I'm sorry. They just don't. And it leads to boring shit. You can't have good stories when you're always just like, gee, golly whiz, Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
We're going to have
you want a title match? Yeah.
It's yours.
And Kevin Owens is like, oh, no, thank you. I'm good. I haven't earned it. Like, dude.
Yeah. It's so, we need to move on. But once again, I've always said that the reason why I don't hold John Cena and Charlotte Flair at the highest of standards as everybody else does. Do I think they're all-time great? Sure, 100%. But I don't hold them as high because they don't make the titles. The titles have made them. And this is the same way as I feel about Cody Rhodes right now. He's not making that title. Everybody around him is making him and important in that championship. You need to be able to go on your own. And I don't know if he can or not. So we'll see.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll see.
Sorry. I have nothing against Cody Rhodes. Once again, I love Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, we like Cody Rhodes.
Nothing.
But Gunther's reign in 2 weeks is way better than Cody's in 6 months.
Yeah, in 6 months, for sure. Yeah. All right. Here's my unpopular opinion that you probably already know, and I don't care. I'm going to keep talking about it. The Judgment Day 3.0 need to win the battle against the Terra Twins. This is no ifs, ands, or buts. I don't care what the rest of the build is until they have their 2 separate matches. Liv Morgan needs to beat Rhea Ripley, and Finn Balor needs to beat Damian Priest. Then the Terra Twins need to go on their separate ways. Priest can go fight IC titles. He can get traded to SmackDown. Same with Rhea. She can beat other women and be dominant, go to SmackDown, challenge Charlotte Flair in non-title matches when Charlotte Flair returns. These people will not get hurt by losing. Who will get hurt by losing is the Judgment Day 3.0. And you have magic in a bottle with these guys. I get there's people on my TikTok like, well, they seem to win and they're not even that important. They are important. Finn Balor is the first ever Universal Champion of all time.
Yeah.
Liv Morgan is the current women's champion. We have the tag team champions, which they currently are, and Dirty Dom's the biggest heel in the business. Yes, they're important. JD and Carlito can feel important as well. This can work. WWE needs this faction. They need to go over to win. Only outcome, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, we've been saying it since day one-ish that they need to win. They need to stop with this. I don't even know if it's 50-50 booking anymore. It's just
not right now.
It's 100-0 booking, and it's in favor of Damian. Like, why do I care about this feud right now? I don't. And they need to do something to spice it up and give Finn and Liv some big victories here. And let the Judgment Day cook.
I agree. All right. What are you ending with?
All right, here we go. This is going to be another unpopular opinion.
But
Roman Reigns. It's about our boy, the tribal chief, the OTC. I think he should lose to Solo or even Jacob Fatu if they go that direction, if he gets like a one-on-one match against them. But I think he needs to lose. And he needs to face the adversity. He needs to have obstacles to overcome. He needs to understand how difficult this task of overcoming this new Bloodline 2.0 is, or Bloodline Wolfpack. He needs to be in over his head, and that's to the point where he starts going to his family for help, and that's how we get to the Roman Reigns redemption tour. That's how we get to Bloodline versus Bloodline Wolfpack at Survivor Series. Do it in War Games, if that's even the direction that they're going. But if you want to build the Bloodline, the new Bloodline up as a legitimate threat, then it doesn't make sense having Roman Reigns come in and beat Solo Sikoa, and then turn around and beat Jacob Fatu, and then turn around and beat the Tama and Tonga and Tongaloa all in one night, like he did that one episode of SmackDown. He can lose via interference. He can lose due to ringside shenanigans, the way that he always won when he was the champion. But either way, he needs to lose. It gives him a reason to get the Usos back involved in the fold. It gives him a reason to get Sami Zayn back in it. If that's again, we don't know if that's the direction that they're going in, but assuming that it is, and it helps build up this next iteration of the Bloodline and makes them look strong as we head into Survivor Series. So I think Roman Reigns needs to take a couple of losses. I know that's hard to say, and it pains me to say that because I love Roman Reigns, but I think in order to build Jacob and Solo especially, Roman's got to lose going into War Games.
So I should agree with this 100% because it's basically my same reasoning of the Judgment Day. I don't think it's going to happen, though. I can see Roman losing to Solo if they're going to have him lose to anybody, because I don't think Jacob Fatu will be the last person. I think he'll have a banger of a pay-per-view match against Fatu and barely beat him, and then maybe Solo and Jacob Fatu will help Solo win or something. I can see that happening, but I don't know if he's going to lose the people up in the build. I feel like they got to get him there. I don't mind it. I don't mind seeing Roman, but I think Roman's going to be like, bro, I'm going to wrestle once, twice a year. You're having me lose shit. I'm going to come back. But it all depends on what route they're going with the title, with The Rock, with the Judgment Day in general. I mean, I could see the Judgment Day 2.0 winning in the Survivor Series match.
The Bloodline.
Bloodline. Sorry, I keep telling me I'm looking at the Judgment Day. The Bloodline 2.0 winning, that match, and then Roman beating Solo or whatever at the end. I can see them getting a win and beating Roman somehow, but I don't know if they'll beat him individually, but I'm not against it. So
I just think that if you're going to build him to make him look strong, having Roman, what's the point of why does Roman need Jimmy and Jay? Why does he need Sami Zayn? Why does he need Cody Rhodes? If he's beating Jacob Fatu clean, he's beating Solo clean. That's just if that's even the direction they go. We don't know if they're doing War Games. That it's not in the way it's going right now. I don't know if they are, but if they do, then I think it makes sense for him to take at least one loss to somebody.
Yeah,
Solo, you said, I think Solo makes more sense than Jacob, but he's got to lose.
Yeah, you got to put over somebody. All right, my last one, and here we go. My unpopular opinion, I think Kevin Owens needs to turn heel and defeat Cody Rhodes for the World Heavyweight Championship match, and that's his next match. I think that needs to happen, I think, for multiple reasons. One, the Bloodline do not need to be anywhere near title anything right now. That makes no sense. They're having a civil war. We do not need to have Cody Rhodes involved. So this will help. So maybe Solo will be like, Cody, I want you. Roman comes back again on the first ever whatever Fox episode, and then our USA episode, apologies, and then Solo moves on. Then Cody thinks he's all nice and safe, and who's going to be my next contender? And then Kevin Owens turns on him. I think we need it. I think Cody needs to lose that belt to a heel to get his edge back, so he stops hugging and kissing babies and he's chasing for the title. I think it makes all the sense in the world, and I think Kevin Owens deserves a damn title shot, and I think Kevin Owens has always been better as a villain. I think he turns on him. I think he needs to turn on him, and I think he needs to have that damn strap around his shoulder. I don't think it fits around his waist, but yes, 100%.
Yeah, no, I'm all for a Kevin Owens heel turn or a Randy Orton heel turn. Somebody just turn damn heel and give me a reason to be invested in Cody Rhodes' championship run. And I'm all for Kevin Owens winning the title and taking it off and let Cody Rhodes chase and get Cody his edge back, give him his mojo back, and let him do his thing. And he can always win the title back, but I think like Roman Reigns, I think Cody Rhodes needs to face some adversity, and Kevin Owens turning heel could be the biggest piece of adversity he's faced so far.
Imagine that. Imagine he loses it, needs to get adversity. Kevin Owens defends it a few times. Cody wins it back by overcoming that adversity.
Wins the Rumble 3 times in a row.
No Rumble. But then it leads him into face. Well, The Rock will probably win the Rumble, but then it leads him into facing the Judgment Day after they've kind of settled in. And then we get Roman Solo, Rock versus Cody, because now it makes more sense. Now Cody's done that adversity. Now Cody feels a little bit more important. You know what I mean? It just works story-wise. We need to do something with Cody. Like, I'll get into our AEW episode that we'll do next, but it's like, if it's broke, fix it. The saying is, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Yeah. This title run is broke. Fix it. You can't keep doing the same thing over and over and over again if it's not working. So yeah,
agreed.
That's my unpopular opinion. All right. You ready for our favorite segment of the week? What we do every week. We are going to do our least valuable dude or dudette and our most valuable dude or dudette of the week of WWE. As always, we start with the negatives and with Ryan. What you got? Who's your least valuable dude or dudette of the week?
I don't know if I'm supposed to be offended by that, but
as soon as I said it, I was like,
wait a minute.
That didn't come out right.
All right. I have a feeling I know who you're going to pick for your LVD of the week, so I'm going to change mine.
I picked two. I picked two for that reason.
I've got two. So I'm going to go Alba Fire and Isla Dawn as my least valuable dudettes. And I know that they won their match. I know they lost at Bash in Berlin, but they won on Raw against Damage Control to get the number 1 contendership. But the fact that they had to get a number 1 contendership match to the title, to a pair of titles that they lost 2 nights before, instead of being the automatic number 1 contenders, tells me everything I need to know about the outcome of that match with Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. So Isla Dawn and Alba Fire, they're not winning the tag titles back. They're not beating Jade and Bianca. They lost their belts. They had a lackluster title reign. I thought that was a lackluster match on Raw against Damage Control as well. And I don't know. I don't really care. And they lost their belts, and now they're going to lose the rematch in a match that they should already have instead of having to earn it. So, yeah, I'm going to say Alba Fire and Isla Dawn.
Can we just talk about the fact that rematch clauses are no longer
a
thing?
I don't understand.
I thought they were. I guess I
thought they were too. And they are sometimes too. That's the weird thing.
Yeah. Yeah, when it wants to be. But nowadays, you can get out of my face with that. Since you didn't say, I'm going to do a tie, just because I've talked about this already so much. I don't want to do one where I'm talking about it again. But Judgment Day 3.0 for sure.
That's who I had. Yeah.
But I'm going to tie with Wesley. And so I've already talked about Judgment Day, so you know why I think that. But Wesley, it's just, what a bummer for that guy. This guy had his boys come back, and HBK was like, look, dude, I'm going to have you turn heel. It's going to be awesome. You're going to go to the moon. And he's like, dope. Let me see if I can do it. And cuts a good. Then when he turned heel, it was vicious. People thought it was like one of the best things ever. He had a build up to it. He was getting his bearings with why he did it, cutting promos. And then he loses to Zachary Wentz and doesn't show up on NXT. And Zachary Wentz has now moved on to the tag team titles. So where does that leave Wesley, who they continue to praise as the greatest North American champion of all time, but he just lost to a TNA dude after turning heel? I don't get it. Sorry, Wesley. It has nothing against you. It's your booking. You're the least valuable dude of the week for me.
That's a solid pick. I forgot about Wesley. But yeah, how do you recover from that? I mean, he's supposed to be the biggest heel, and you can't even take him seriously because he's losing to somebody who doesn't even work there. Makes no sense. Nope.
Yep, and you're like first match as a heel. And in Judgment Day 3.0, taking a double loss this week was also pretty embarrassing. All right, most valuable dude or dudette, and as always, we start with Ryan.
There we go. There we go.
It is. There it is.
I'm gonna go Gunther. I just think Gunther. He had that great match with Randy Orton at Bash in Berlin. Started off slow, but I thought it was a good way to solidify his reign. And I already talked about the storytelling aspect of it and the reason to care and to be invested in it. But he is so good on the damn microphone that he's very underrated and unappreciated. And now he's got Sami Zayn, and Sami Zayn did great on the mic, and I think Gunther kind of helped him with it. But Gunther's just getting better and better week in and week out. And the fact that he beat Randy Orton, and now he's going to probably beat Sami Zayn. He's just going to continue his reign as champion. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anybody else that could be MVD this week.
Yeah, fantastic pick, but there is somebody else, and I love that pick.
Let's see.
I'm going with Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
This man cut that segment was in. He didn't have to say anything. All he had to do, he claymored his shoe off his foot.
Yeah.
His shoe was literally, he picked that dude up with one shoe, threw him into the ring, beat him down, ripped up his bracelet, made him flip and eat it, claymored him again, then put him in a hospital bed where he was getting put into an emergency vehicle, and then beat the snot out of him while he was tied up and defenseless. That was like heel 101. Damn, it was good. Drew McIntyre, you're my hero.
Yeah,
and my
that's a
most
solid
valuable
pick.
Dude.
Yeah,
and you're not fat. You sexy as F, dude.
I forgot about.
Dude.
I mean, I didn't forget about Drew, but I was just the fact that he lost, kind of like at bat. Like, but then you know, he did have a great impact on Monday Night Raw, so that's a solid pick too.
All right. So that's our week of WWE. It wasn't the best week, but it wasn't a bad week. But I'm feeling like we're about to start cooking because we're building to more things, and we're also turning to new channels. So I'm assuming we're getting Roman, amongst other things.
Oh, yeah.
SmackDown, everything's going to be off the chain. So I'm looking forward to this week of pro wrestling in the WWE. As always, if you'd like to hear my takes or get upset with me, you can check me out at HBD Denton. All things going on there on all social medias. And with me, as always, is my sidekick, my main man, my partner, my leader, my hero, and not my least valuable dude.
Ryan Enjoys Wrestling. Go hit me up on TikTok at Ryan Enjoys Wrestling and all social media platforms. At Two Dudes with Attitudes. Follow us on TikTok there. Follow us on X at Two Dudes PC. And then subscribe to the YouTube channel, man. We're blowing up, man. We got 1,255 followers, I think, now. So there's no reason we can't be at 1,300 by the end of October. So we're gonna do some big things as the year goes on. And of course, we're back to being live every week, and we're here on Twitch. So if you're watching us on the Twitch stream, thank you for all the love and support, and don't forget to subscribe and follow us there. And then if you're listening to us on Apple and Spotify, we appreciate all the love and support. Go leave us a 5-star rating and review, and help us out, help us grow, help us move up, and help get the word out about us, because we think we're the best podcast out there, but we need other people to think we're the best podcast out there. So spread the love.
Yes, sir. Two dudes with facts.
Let's go. It's the two dudes and our attitudes ruthless, aggressively speaking. So let's do this. We're Ryan and Denton. They here to get your attention. The 5-star broadcast shit, start to the ending. Whether it's the E or it's all E, the two dudes with the attitudes that bring the heat. Get the point, yeah, it's on, time to lock in. Listen to the podcast where they get it poppin'.